Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space program. In the last episode, we worked on designing and testing, and then eventually launching and getting into lunar orbit this piece of equipment here, which is a drilling platform and raw materials storage device for our moon base that we have going here, that we've been working on for the last several episodes. And as you can see, I've gone ahead and taken care of getting it landed, because we've seen that a bunch already. So, it is on the ground, everything is working, and we just need to maneuver it into position and get it all hooked up and get it running. So that is going to be, we're going to go ahead and get started on right here. And this is going to be interesting. This is gonna be a somewhat difficult piece of equipment to get moving because of that. But if we just are careful, and probably want to go ahead and crank that motor limit even further down. Just give that a try. Even still. Alright, well, I just got to get it close enough to that little object right there, because that's where we're going to hook it up. And that looks pretty good. So, and make sure we are oriented where we need to be. All right, lock the brakes on. That's where we're at. All right. Oh, turn that off. Okay. Alright, so first thing we're gonna need... Hopefully I actually brought enough of these. Is this guy. Joint socket, we're gonna need that. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and fix this thing. To there. Alright, there we go. And then over here, we just need to fix that. And then we grab that connector. Attach it, and the link mode is now docked. And now that is connected and should be able to be controlled and powered by the rest of the base. One thing I need to check here is how many of those items do we have here? We still have a few more socket connectors. Okay, so we are out of the other things that we need. But lots of socket connectors. So don't need to worry about socket connectors. Just need more of those things right there. What are you doing? Oh boy. Brakes on, please. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to fix that. Not a problem. I would have thought that would have provided a much more solid connection, but apparently it did not. Alright then. That's easily remedied. This is a bit quicker. Oh, we're moving again. Don't tip over. Don't tip over, please. All right. Be careful here that I don't tip it over. Oh. Stabilization, please. There we go. Let's put you back where you're supposed to be. Alright, make sure our brakes are engaged. Brakes on this are engaged. That was almost a small disaster there. Pick up the connector. There we go. Make sure it's not moving. Is it stationary? It looks like it is. Let's see. Motor lock, locked. Motor lock, locked. It still wants to spin for some reason. Well, let's see what it does once we actually engage the, deploy the drills. Nope, it still wants to spin. That's... Ah, I see. It was the reaction wheels that were causing the spin. Okay. Good. Good. Alright. Now, let's get, Burpont back on board. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn them on. Toggle mining interface. Activate the drill. All right, let's see. We're getting rare metals, we're getting exotic minerals, we're getting carbonite, we're getting uranite, substrate, metallic ore, dirt, or we're not getting any minerals. Okay, we're also getting some regolith. Alright. I'll have to see if we are supposed to be getting minerals or not. Alright, but that's good. That's good. It's working. Electric charge. Electric charge is fine. We're getting a little warm on these radiators, but we've got plenty of radiator capacity, so that shouldn't be an issue. Alright, and all my attachment points are good. Aren't you supposed to be on? It is on. That's a regolith drill. Okay, so it's... distance from the sun. I don't know why that's important. Heat sink status, drilling not pumping heat. Okay. Alright, so I think I can just leave that to run for the time being. And so we're going to go ahead and head back to the Space Center and see what else we can get up to here. All right, I'm trying to think what other functions we want to have for that base. You probably want some level of ISRU. Primarily so that we can make fertilizer for the hydroponics. So this does liquid fuel and oxidizer, liquid fuel, oxidizer, minor prep, fertilizer. Yeah, that's the converter we need. The relatively small converter. It requires 100 kilowatts of cooling. Let's see, this one. Liquid fuel ox, monoprop, liquid fuel oxidizer. LH2 and oxidizer, and lithium. But that doesn't provide the fertilizer. Right, so that is a thought. Orbital workshop. You know, this is not orbital. Let me just check one thing here. Alright. What I'm thinking we're going to do, actually, after I've just kind of gone over things a little bit, and decide what it is that I'm going to need. I think some extra resource storage is probably what we're going to want. And with probably that small ISRU converter on it as well. So I think we're going to do a similar thing. what we did. Use this as the core. The support, because that gives us our batteries and some monopropellant. And at least for the moment, I am going to the hollow. Can I do hollow? I don't know if it'll fit in there. No. How about this one? If I make that hollow, it might work in there. Alright, so if you slide in there, not quite. But I can slide it like that, and then that looks right. Alright, good. That should do. We're looking at another relatively tall, well, it looks tall for the moment. Logistics. There it is. That's the part I was missing. I'm like, where is the container I was looking for? 2.5 meter containers. That's what I need. Metallic ore. They're going to be empty. Substrate. Minerals, but we don't really have minerals at this location, it would seem. I might have to set up a second mine somewhere where there's minerals, because I think we're going to need them. Rare metals and exotic minerals. We have both of those. Metals. No, metals is a refined product. Polymers, refined, supplies. Ore. Yes, ore. Basic ore. Kind of where I'd like to have it, but there's some clipping there. I prefer not to have the clipping. these don't quite line up. We just have to decide what it's going to be. That's fine. No, not that. This... I guess we can do carbonite there? Now you're going to attach there. I guess I can go with the minerals because I might just use this as a universal storage module. And then I need one more. Do we have one for regolith? Silicates? Hydrates, gypsum, dirt, silicates. Okay. I need to be able to access the convertitron, so... I think that's probably as good as we're gonna get. What I might need to do is reroute the part. Reroute it there so I can get to that. Now, we're going to need some sort of landing equipment. Wheels, perhaps? Let's see. I want to make sure that we are mirroring on the correct part. Yeah, we would need... That's not mirroring in the right spot. Mirroring about the part rather than about... That be what I would want to use. I think that's a bit overkill. I think that's a lot overkill. Now, can you retract this? I don't think so. This is gonna be a fairly sizable piece of equipment to try to move around. Well, let's just experiment, test, try it out, see if it works. How well does it perform? That sort of thing. Alright, we're gonna need solar of some description. Starlift or nuclear reactor. New. That won't work. I mean, it would work, but it'd be ridiculous. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to attach to. Is that what I'd want? $22 per second. At least for the moment, I think that it could work. No. No, just that. Alright. This is gonna be our, ground resource storage. Now this is going to need some thermal as well. Need what, 100 kilowatts? I don't think we need anything that significant. Just something relatively small would be sufficient. Like 4 of those. Work? It does kind of interfere with the solar panels, though. We should only really need 2 of them. All right, let's now once extended, these cannot be retracted. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and put it on the pad, and let's see what it does. We're also going to need to bring some equipment with it as well. All right. I'd like to get some daylight. There we go. We have electric charge. What in the world just happened? Their suspension is being significantly compressed. And wheel stress is maxed out. It's too heavy for these wheels. So all the wheels are broken. That's what happened there. Okay. Well, good to know. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back into the assembly bay. And let's see what we can do about that. Yep, these wheels are too small. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Oh. I've just got to try it. I've just got to try it. All right, let's try and eyeball it. All right. That's close enough. The thing is, I reverted, so it's going to put us back at nighttime. That's just the quickest way to get back into the vehicle assembly bay. Alright, let's go ahead and warp it to daylight. There we go. Wheel stress. Alright. That's pretty solid. Oh, that works really, really nice. But as far as actually getting this thing where it needs to go, I'm not so sure. Alright, well... Alright, well, that's enough fun. Let's go ahead and get it back into the vehicle assembly bay. Let's see if there's something a little bit less overkill. A little bit less overkill than that. Alright. Alright, the next track down is these tracks. I think I've tried using them before. Yeah, these ones I was trying to use, I mean, they work. I found them a little bit dodgy. Alright, let's try 4 of these. Let's try 4 of those, and let's see what that does. Save, and launch. We haven't even gotten to the point of the landing thrusters. We haven't gotten to trying to build a rocket to lift the thing. So we've still got a few things ahead of us. Okay. Alright, you guys, your motors need to be inverted. I don't know why we're seeing this do this. Yeah, let's just go ahead and lock the suspensions. That seems to work. It is spinning on its own axis. But we are getting friction, you know. Once we get on the moon, I'm not exactly sure if we'll get the same level of performance. But I think the only thing we can do is give it a try. Alright. Let's get it back into the vehicle assembly bay, and let's see about those landing thrusters. And let's see about a rocket to lift the thing. Alright. So, first things first, we want to go ahead and make sure that those are retracted. They start retracted. Now, I think that there is an actual, like, docking attachment here. Pretty sure there was one. Well, there's this. That's not what I'm looking for. I think it would be in coupling. Docking coupler. There we are. A docking port compatible with the standard Clampetron docking port. Ah, actually, that one's even better. This is the configured to lock solely at 90-degree increments for efficient construction. That's really nice. Those should lock together like that. Our other option would be this. Which should be compatible with this docking port there. Okay. We use that instead of a stack decoupler. It's fine. Now, here's the thing. Any engines we put on there have to overhang so that they can vent their exhaust beyond these containers. So... I think I'll have to go with the standard, the procedural liquid tank. We want to do cone. Bottom is going to be 2.5. Top is going to have to be like, yeah, 7.5 meters. Now that's a liquid tank. So this is liquid fuel and oxidizer rather than monopropellant. Let's see. Tank type. Let's see, if I'm not going to use the monopropellant, then what I can do is I can grab this and knock the monopropellant out of it. I don't need it. And we need to make sure that we are looking at the moon. Need 2 of them? Let's see how that looks. $1.76 thrust to weight with a 2,773 meter per second delta V. That would definitely work. Is there an engine here that provides more thrust? That is the same size. Let's see, 750 kilonewtons, 95 kilonewtons. Let's see, these guys. Thrust to weight 13.16 with 2,400 meters per second of delta V. That would definitely give us everything we would need. Alright. Now, what we would need to do is to bring a couple of these. Alright, they don't mirror correctly. Alright, so you would go in the front. We grab a copy of that. Put it there. Yeah, that would be good. Same thing on this one. Resource transfer. Resource transfer, a couple of these. And one of those. Okay. Actually, it might be best to slide them over there, get them out of the way of the engines. Okay. Do a 3.7 meter stacked coupler. Actually, a 5 meter stacked coupler. The 5 meter guidance unit. I don't think I have a 5 meter battery. I actually do have a 5 meter battery. There we are. Okay, and do I have any kind of structural adapter that adapts 5 to 7.5 meters? That's 5 to 3.75. Nope, that's not scalable. Neither is that one. That one's scalable. Except I don't think that that piece is 5 meters. It is not. There's a procedural nose cone. There isn't any kind of like procedural adapter. That's an adapter tank. It actually has oxidizer and liquid fuel in it. Okay. Interesting. Would a payload bearing work? 7.5 meter payload bearing. Clamshell deploy with a lot of ejection force. So wooden engine. Pull fuel through that. Don't know. It looks like it will. Need to go back to Kerbin. 900 meters per second. Yeah. It'll do the job, I think. Now, this is probably actually going to be a fairly short and stubby rocket. The 7.5 meters. Multi-coupler. Let's see, we go up to 7.5 meters. What are our options? I don't think those are 1.25. I think those are probably 2.5. Let's see what kind of engines fit on there. No, it looks like they are. Sorta, kinda. What are we looking at? Vacuum performance 345. Specific impulse. Lynx engines. That gives us 2,800 meters per second Delta V. That'll do. Do I have a 7-meter? Oh, I can make it a 7-meter decoupler. All right. And then we have this fuel tank, which we can turn into a 7.5-meter fuel tank. We have this coupler here. Which takes, what, 3 upper mount, 3 2.5-meter engines, and or we're gonna do 4 2.5-meter engines. Yeah, let's try 4 2.5-meter engines, and let's see if that would give us enough thrust. So what's the biggest? The biggest, nastiest 2.5-meter engine that I can come up with. These guys? Those are a bit larger. Okay. That only gives us a 0.21 thrust-to-weight ratio on the first stage. That definitely will not work. It will not work in the slightest. Alright, what about... what's the, 1900 kilonewtons? What do these things throw? 1950? 1450. Right, but they only need liquid hydrogen. And... 1.69 thrust to weight. 1,300 meters per second of delta V. This thing is going to be eating a lot of electric charge. A lot of electric charge during launch. Because I do not believe that these things have an alternator. No, they do not. This does have an alternator. How much power is going to be needed for cooling? I don't know. Total mass. Let's see. What other potential engines do we have? Jets, nuclear rockets. No, they're not going to work. Monoprop, cryo. Ion. 4 kilonewtons. No, that won't do. engines. I would need an engine. Like that. Maybe there's a different mount I can use. Oh, that's the same mount I was just using. Lower stage engine mount. Nodes 7, 5, 4, 3, 1, 7. What size engines fit in those nodes? Not 2.5 meter engines. Those do. Those kind of do? Oh, maybe. Maybe. If we slap those in there... plus the one in the middle. There's another... How do I get to that upper... Yeah, it needs to get in there, not that. Steve, why would you do that? It won't, it just will not snap to the right node. All of them have that center node. These guys all overlap. See, 4 is 0.85. If I put boosters on it, that could work. 0.85 give me 1.9 or 1,978 meters per second delta V. Yeah. I think that we just throw some solid rock, some SRBs on here. And I think we'll be golden. Let's do 4 SRBs. Oh, and I need some other stuff that's gonna have to go up there as well. Let's just take care of that. We're gonna need a couple of those for electrical power. And then... whole upper section is going to need some amount of control. What if I were to throw some... RCS tanks in there? And now we're to throw some RCS blocks. It should work, I think. We'll do those relay antennas as well. Okay, so now our SRBs. The biggest, heaviest SRBs I can get my hands on. 300 kilonewtons. And what about the Thors? 2315. So the Clydesdales here are more powerful. Okay, so let's go with some of them. Let's make sure that all those engines light on the same stage. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. Those cones. Nose cones. Nose cones. Nose cones. Okay. This is pretty ridiculous. But we'll see how it flies. We're kind of toward the end of the time that I have for this episode. But this whole design process is... well, that's part of the process. Alright, so release the clamps, fire those engines, These burn out. Jettison those. Staging all looks good. Alright. Let's see what she does. Let's at least get her to orbit. Let's at least get her to orbit. I'm going to automate the launch. And we'll see how the monster flies. Okay. Don't know what's going on there. Alright, ascent guidance. Engage the autopilot. We're going to 110 kilometers is what I like to do now. Limit Q, auto deploy. Looks good. Thrust to weight ratio is at 1.3, 1.4. I do not know why those radiators are complaining about heat. Whatever. Thrust to weight. 8.3. We're about to lose the SRBs. There they go. Thrust away is now down to 1.17. But still, it's above 1. That is 16. I don't know if you would count that as 16 engines or 4 engines with 16 nozzles. It all depend on how those, the internals of those engines will be arranged, I guess. Thrust to weight, looking at 1.6. We're getting some pretty good velocity. Apoapsis height is not increasing as much as I'd like to see. About to lose the center stage. trajectory look like? It's not bad. We're getting a lot of horizontal velocity out of this. We're not going to have to do much in circularization. All right, there we are. We're going to enable RCS. Now, once we're above 70 kilometers, as usual, we'll jettison the fairings. It did it for me. All right, and solar panels are deployed. And those are, yeah, those are liquid fuel. All right. Now, did it burn that? It did. All right, good. Very, very good. All right. We're going to go ahead. We're going to end the episode here. And that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem, isn't it? I did not check that. And they're deployed. Well, the engines are probably going to blow them off. All right. Well, we're going to stop here for today. And we're going to see what happens when we try to land this thing. Or I'm going to try and land this thing, and then I'll see how that goes. And be ready for next time. Alright, so, for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.